Morro Bay is one of our favorite places. Not only does it have a large bay, protected from the ocean by a long stretch of deserted sand dunes, but there's also a large wildlife refuge area. This is the refuge at high tide. The water here looks inviting, but be careful. It's very shallow, and when the tide goes out, you may not be able to paddle to a channel that leads to the bay. This is the very same place at low tide. We usually put in where there's deep water at Morro Bay State Park. Drive 12 miles north of San Luis Obispo on Route 1 and turn right at this sign. At the end of the off-ramp, turn left, and in a few hundred yards you'll see the turn to the park. There's a nice campground here, but you'll need to make reservations early. It's usually full. The marina is just across the street from the campground. You can check out the low water chart at the boat rental place. We'll put in here and paddle towards the town. That's the Morro Bay Museum, just around the corner. There's lots of info about the bay up in there. No one is allowed inside this rookery, but you can paddle close to it and watch the great blue herons and cormorants nesting and feeding. We see otter most of the time we paddle here. We usually stop and watch them till they swim away. Aren't they cute? You could also put in here at the town pier on the south end of Morro Bay, but since we don't need a launch ramp, we'd rather not deal with the crowds. We enjoy paddling around the boats, guessing how they got their name. What do you suppose Irish pennants means? I don't know what it is, but there's something about paddling across the water to get something to eat. Well, here we are at the north end of the bay. We don't go any further because the current gets too strong. You see, the ocean is just beyond Morro Rock. So let's head back. It's nice to see the pelicans are making a comeback. We usually stop and walk around the dunes for a while, maybe have lunch. This looks like a pretty big sand dune. We'll probably get a good view of the ocean from the top. Let's paddle back across the bay to the wildlife refuge area. This refuge is the nursery for 80% of all the sea life on the Central Coast. The seals have been here every time we've come. They seem to be pretty friendly. We paddle in front of them from a distance, and then we drift back with the current. And then we paddle by them again, a little closer. And then we drift back again. They seem to get used to us. A beautiful sunset seems a fitting way to end the day.